Golden Apple Award is sponsored by Fidelity Bank, here for good.
The U.S. is expected to send an aircraft carrier to the Middle East to help protect U.S. forces withdrawing from Afghanistan.
Defense officials say the USS Ronald Reagan will be headed to the region in the next several days. As the U.S. withdraws, there are concerns about what will happen to Afghans who assisted the U.S.
As Barbara Starr reports, there's a bipartisan effort to get them into the U.S.
During the 20-year war in Afghanistan, they worked as translators, contractors, and in a wide variety of jobs helping the U.S. Now, some 18,000 Afghans face the threat of being targeted and killed by the Taliban in retribution as soon as July, once U.S. forces are expected to be gone. While the Biden administration hasn't made a decision to evacuate them, the Pentagon is doing some very preliminary planning to be ready for a potentially huge operation.
If directed to do something like that, we could certainly do it.
Nobody knows how soon people need to be airlifted out, exactly how many people need help, and where they would be taken. Those already out and away from danger stress the need for protection, telling Jake Tapper,
my family, my colleagues.
This Afghan man fled his country fearing he would be killed after working as an engineer for the U.S. government in Afghanistan.
I don't regret for my service.
There is growing bipartisan pressure to act. The memories of thousands of South Vietnamese who helped the U.S. escaping the final days of the Vietnam War still fresh for many.
We cannot allow Afghanistan to be another Saigon. This isn't just about the people waiting for these visas in Afghanistan. If our allies and partners don't trust us to keep our word or think they will be abandoned, it could cause irreparable damage to our national security.
We must do our part to aid those Afghans who have aided us.
Those pleas have not fallen on deaf ears at the Pentagon.
We have a moral obligation to help those that have helped us over the past 20 years of our presence and work in Afghanistan.
As Barbara Starr reporting, the Pentagon says it's working with the State Department to identify Afghans who worked for the U.S. The Biden administration says it wants to work with Congress to increase the number of visas that will be available.
Secretary of State Anthony Blinken heads back to the U.S. after a two-day tour of the Mideast. Before leaving, he met with leaders of Egypt and Jordan as he worked to shore up the ceasefire that ended an 11-day war between Israel and Hamas. Blinken vowed to rally international support for rebuilding Gaza while making sure none of the aid money reaches Hamas. The group opposes Israel's right to exist and is considered a terrorist organization by the U.S. Egypt and Qatar have each pledged $500 million in assistance to Gaza.
We've had in Egypt a real and effective partner in dealing with the violence, bringing it to a close relatively quickly, and now working closely together to try to build something positive as we move forward.
Yesterday, Blinken announced plans to reopen a diplomatic office in Jerusalem that oversees outreach to Palestinians.
Tonight, an all-new investigation.
You know how much methane's coming out of there? That's blatant.
Wells abandoned in Louisiana jeopardize a nearby aquifer. One of the previous owners is a major oil company. See why the state isn't holding them accountable. An all-new Left for Dead investigation is coming up on Fox 8 News at 10.
Here at Fox 8, we like to honor educators who go above and beyond for their students.
Our last honoree for the 2020-2021 school year is a veteran teacher at Madisonville Elementary.
She puts her world of color and light on anything she can find. It's magical.
Magical is how teachers and administrators at Madisonville Elementary School might describe Susan Richey's teaching style and energy.
When she comes here, she gives her everything.
Richey has worked with students with learning differences since before she even started teaching.
I worked at Louisiana School for the Deaf as a little summer job, and then I worked at a camp in Leesville, Louisiana, Lions Crippled Children's Camp. And that was over the summer during my, I think, junior year of college. I knew I was doing education, but I wasn't quite sure what route I was going to take, and I think that's where I made my decision.
That decision has taken her on an almost 40-year journey, a journey with its good and bad days, and most recently, a pandemic.
I can remember at LSU taking a class on how to use an overhead projector 37 years ago. I made an A in that class. And here we are now with all this technology. Things have totally changed, but what's would remain constant is the kids are absolutely beautiful.
Principal Candace Hickman says Riche rolled with the punches as they navigated virtual learning.
She really took the time to make sure that she met with parents and met with kids, and anything that they needed, she was able to reach out to them and help them along the way.
School looks much more normal now.
Happy Mother's Day. And what year is this? Oh, your mom is gonna love it.
But Riche hopes her students take away and embrace an important lesson from her class and this last year.
In my classroom, we talk a lot about challenges because schoolwork is challenging. It just is. And that challenges are okay. And they make us stronger.
Her lessons are engaging, and the kids love her. And so I hope that she knows that, and I hope she sees that every day.
In Madisonville,
I think, saving the best for last, Lily thinks about her mom and her dad at the end of the day.
Kelsey Davis, Fox 8 Local First.
And if you'd like to nominate a teacher for the Golden Apple Award, go to fox8live.com/Golden Apple. All right, a couple wakes up to find a burglar inside their New Orleans hotel room. The serious concerns they have about the hotel security coming up new at 10.
But first, how a woman saved 3 men who got caught in a rip current.
Estamos aquí para quedarnos.
Ahora in my mind.
Ici pour de bon.
No matter how you say it, Here for Good means we're local and committed to our uniquely diverse community. Because at Fidelity Bank, we know that local businesses drive our economy. We know the importance of giving back, and we know our clients, and they know us. Come celebrate the difference a community bank can make. Fidelity Bank, since 1908.
Qui per sempre.
Here for good.